The lonely rancher had lived on the edge of the desert for so long that silence had become his only companion. His small ranch sat where dry grass met red earth, a place most people avoided because old stories clung to it like dust. Elijah Cole rose before sunrise every day, fed his horses, checked his fences, and spoke to no one but the wind. He had come west years ago carrying guilt he never named, hoping the wide land would swallow it. That morning, one of his horses refused to move toward the cottonwood trees near the creek. The animal snorted and pulled back hard, eyes wild. Elijah frowned and followed the horse's gaze. From a distance, something dark hung against the pale trunk of the largest tree. At first, he thought it was a broken branch or a torn blanket caught by the wind. As he walked closer, his steps slowed, and his breath caught painfully in his chest. It was a girl. She was young, no more than 16, her black hair tangled and falling forward. A rough rope had been thrown over a branch, but it had not been tied properly. The knot had slipped, leaving her feet barely touching the ground. Around her neck hung a wooden board, the words carved deep and uneven, "White man don't forgive." Elijah's hands shook as he rushed forward. He cut the rope with his knife and caught her weight just in time. She collapsed against him, light as a bundle of dry sticks. Her chest moved faintly. She was alive. He carried her back to his ranch house, laid her on his own bed, and worked with desperate care. He loosened the marks on her neck, cleaned the dirt and blood from her skin, and gave her water drop by drop. Hours passed before her eyes finally opened. They were dark, sharp, and filled with fear. She tried to sit up, but Elijah gently pressed her back. "Easy," he said softly. "You're safe here." She stared at him like a cornered animal, silent but alert. When she finally spoke, her voice was rough. "You cut me down," she said. It was not a question. "Yes," he answered. "I couldn't leave you there." She turned her face away. "You should have." Elijah felt the weight of her words settle heavily in the room. He did not argue. Instead, he brought her food and waited. By nightfall, she finally told him her name was Nita, an Apache girl whose family had been killed during a raid months earlier. She had been captured by men who claimed justice but knew only cruelty. The sign was meant as a warning, not just to others like her, but to any who might show mercy. "They wanted me to die slowly," she said, her voice flat. "So I would remember." Elijah listened, shame burning in his chest. He knew men like the ones she described. He had once ridden with them, years ago, when anger and ignorance had ruled him. He had left when he realized what kind of man he was becoming, but leaving did not erase the past. "I can't change what was done," he said quietly. "But I won't let it happen again. Not here." Days turned into weeks. Nita healed slowly, her body recovering faster than her trust. She watched Elijah closely, measuring every word and movement. He never raised his voice, never forced her to stay. He taught her how to care for the horses, how to read the weather, how to shoot if she ever needed to defend herself. At night, she told him stories of her people, of mountains and songs and spirits that lived in the land. One evening, as the sun bled red across the horizon, Nita stood beneath the cottonwood tree where she had nearly died. Elijah waited nearby, unsure if she wanted him there. She reached up and touched the rough bark, then turned to him. "The sign was wrong," she said. Elijah swallowed. "How so?" She met his eyes, steady now. "Some white men do forgive. Some save lives." He did not claim forgiveness for himself. He did not ask it. He only nodded, knowing that redemption was not a single act, but a lifetime of choices. From that day on, the ranch was no longer lonely. It became a place of quiet healing, where the past was not forgotten, but faced honestly. And beneath the cottonwood tree, new branches grew strong and wide, casting shade instead of shadows.